you doing?
Yeah, good. I was just laughing to myself because I had a really funny, schooled somebody in terms of their client experience because they sent me loads of rubbish through the post to the practice that was like, I'm going to increase your Invisalign revenue by 548% and you're going to be the only practice in Taunton. But I've only got room for one more practice in Taunton. And I was like, this is a crock of shit. And you wasted a tree on it. And you sent it in a bubble-lined envelope. And I literally sent that in an email and was like, if you would like to know more about how to actually get clients, please feel free to talk to me. I haven't had a reply from that email yet.
You won't get a reply. Right. We just need to make a quick comment on your dungarees. Are you ready? I've introduced a new character into the Data 8 world. His name is Captain Insano. And he has something to say about your dungarees. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Anyway, right, back to the plot. So, Aesthetic Entrepreneurs audience, those out there, we are talking about client journey. We are talking about ways to make your client journey less shit. Because I'm going to be quite, honesty bomb. It's not about, for the majority of things, it's not about how can we improve your client journey. Actually, I think a lot of them were coming from the other way. And it's how do you start off by just making it a bit less shit. And the first thing is, as I said earlier, is consideration. Actually understanding that there is a client journey and there is a pathway. And the best businesses in the world have the best client pathways. So guys who are listening, give me an example. I want to know the business that you highly respect for this client pathway. And the easiest way of thinking about it is it's the one who takes the most amount of money off of you. So businesses out there who take shitloads of money off you are the ones that have great client journeys. So Stevie, give me an example, right? Give me a business that relieves you of lots of cash.
Oh, it's got to be something about triathlon, hasn't it? Actually, I'll tell you a really good one. Really good one is the people that coach me for triathlon now. They're amazing at this. They're really good. They've got all of the bases covered. And I first came to them. I kind of knew who the business owner was, but they've got a podcast which has got loads of information on it. And then you kind of roll from there into a really cool blog. And then they've got little bits by all of the different coaches. And then you can kind of narrow in on a coach. And then you can kind of you can do a time audit on there. You could do all sorts of things around training before you ever get to a point where you have to pay. And then you do an email kind of form with loads of information on it. And then you get a little email correspondence. And then you get an introductory call with a coach. And then finally you get to the actual kind of paid coaching part. And I think it's really fantastic. And I look at it and think, there's a company that's nailed it. And it's not, and it's one of those kind of small businesses as well. I know the guy that started it. It's not it's massive specialized Apple or anything like that. And so it just goes to prove that you can do it as just a person from your office. It does happen and you can do it really well.
I like that. So essentially what they do is they move you through a journey, right? Content to content. Wow. Yeah. And you end up just giving them money, right?
Yeah, and then they go, you know what? We give you an invoice every month, but let's make it easy for you to pay us. Oh, and by the way, we run some holidays as well. So did you want to come on a holiday with us? And then you can pay for that. And you can buy some kit with us. We have a kit shop. So would you like to buy any kit with us? They're great. They've had loads of my money. They're about to have a lot more this year. I've booked a holiday. I've bought all of the kit. Yeah, I'm officially I'm a brand maven now for Try Training Harder.
There you go. Right. So yeah, that's called an upsell, by the way. The holiday?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's called an upsell. It's very useful. Who do I spend money with? Oh, it's blatantly who do I know? Who takes the most amount of money off me on a regular basis? It's Apple. They take money off me quite a lot.
I was going to say Apple is your number
Amazon, one. Disney. Disney are very good at taking money off me. Well, the thing is, Disney.
Oh, because you have the automated thing, so you don't think about it; it just goes out automatically, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, Disney own my entire childhood, right? So Star Wars, Marvel, you name it, they own it, right? So I can't not pay the money if I want to, enjoy anything. Apple, obviously, because I can't do any work without them. Amazon, clearly, because they just. I know it's a cliche, but people talk about, making Amazon easy to buy from. That whole one-click thing. I mean, it just makes it so easy. And I'm not, in my mind, it's to aspire to that, it's probably unlikely because you don't have the resources. But again, even just designing something like that where it makes it easy to buy from is that's essentially what we built Matrix for, because it made it easy to get access to content and then easy to click to buy it. One click.
Yeah, I think the Amazon thing is amazing because, like, literally you ever need legit anything and you're like, oh, I need that fast. Like, I pay for my Prime account every single month. I need anything fast. The first place I'll go to check is Amazon. I might not be able to get it on there, but it's the first place I'll always check.
Yeah. And I'm not waxing lyrical about Amazon, but it does make it easy. I had to return something today. A remote microphone, and the battery won't charge. So that's what actually when I was speaking to you earlier and I was doing chat. Yeah, that did not go so well though, right? Yeah, the chat didn't work because they ended the chat while I was in the middle of it, having just spent 10 minutes talking to some bloke called Simon.
Yeah, I believe you told me to go and F myself or F off, and then I had to clarify that you were not talking to me, and I was like, okay, well, I'm used to that now, but that's fine.
I think what I actually said was you fucking twat, and it wasn't. Sorry, it wasn't you. Sorry, I was talking to the Amazon dude. But anyway, after I finally got on the phone, I did manage to solve it, and they've got a replacement coming out to the post to me tomorrow, so it's dead easy. So guys listening, get involved. Tell me who, because this is important, because if there's an experience that you enjoy and you actually like spending money with certain companies, copy it. What is it about that makes it enjoyable?
I've just thought of another one, and you might have had this. There's and this is really simple. So Wiggle have like a little app, and it's very easy to order off. But I tell you something else that they do, and this is really minor, but cyclists will absolutely lose their shit if it doesn't happen. When you get a parcel from Wiggle, you get a little bag of Haribo in it.
Really?
Yeah, and if you don't get the bag of Haribo, like, people will post on social media, I didn't get my bag of Haribo, did this happen to anybody else? But, like, you will order things only from Wiggle, like, you'll order things from Wiggle just so you get that bag of Haribo.
Right. Coralie, I don't know if you're listening, let it be written, so it should be said. Anybody orders anything from Essential Entrepreneurs from here on, at this point they receive Haribo.
I don't even like Haribo. I'll eat it because we put it in the bag, and if I don't get it, I'm upset.
Right, yeah, you can give it to someone. But yeah, it's little things like that. So actually, yeah, I did order from Wiggle today. So for those of you who don't know what Wiggle is an online cycle retailer, basically. I mean, they do other bits and pieces as well. But today I bought my first, even thinking about it makes me shudder, my first cycling bib set, right? Where's
the cheer button? Press the cheer noise. I'm happy. I'm really proud
of them. Right. And those of you who are interested as to why have I decided to dress myself like a middle-aged man in lycra, it's purely necessity, because I want to get fitter. I've got my head fixed on getting my black belt and just generally just getting fitter. And talking to Stevie, she's like, well, you need to do about a couple of hours cycling a week. So easiest thing to do actually was to cycle to the office. So I did that. Bear in mind, my office is 16 miles away from where I live. And but I'm going to tell you all the story, right? So just pull up a chair, listen to this, right? So I think it was where are we now? Thursday. So it's Tuesday I did it. And so got my bike sorted, because over lockdown I bought a nice bike, like lots of men. And actually, not just men. It's a unisex thing, buying lots of bikes over lockdown, wasn't it? Yeah,
I did that.
Humans, right? We bought bikes over lockdown. Anyway, and got the kit together, cycled an hour and a half to my office. It was all good. Cycled back, mistimed it all, hadn't eaten all day. My padded shorts aren't as padded as I thought they were. And to avoid staying off the main roads, I went down basically what is a farm track at night with basically a really shitty light on the front that was like a candle. Really slowly. Got home, managed to have time to go home, have a shower, and then go to karate training. Absolutely screwed my day up completely. I'm still suffering from it now. So feedback was get some chamois cream, or arselard, as we call it in the mountain biking world.
It's chamois cream.
Chamois cream. Arselard, right? That's what it is. Arselard. And some better shorts. Now, apparently the thing to do is you have the bibs, so they, go over your shoulders, basically like a leotard. so it doesn't so that your shorts don't ride down. I understand this because this happened to me a lot on Tuesday. Stopping to pull my shorts up. Okay. So anyway, long story short, I'm now sorted. It was a really easy experience buying from Wiggle. The good price as well. I managed to get 40% off this, all set. Looking forward to my Haribos.
Yeah, if you don't get your Haribo, make sure you complain about it.
Okay, I will. That was a very long explanation for what's happening, but it's very powerful. I can tell. See, everyone was thrilled with that explanation of what's going on.
Literally nobody has commented on the Haribo apart from Coralie, who said Wiggle only do small packs. So I think Coralie maybe loves small Haribo. Packs.
But yeah, I'm not intending. We're not sending someone here's a whole party bag of Haribo. That's just not.
No, because if you're going to do that, can you send me Percy Pigs instead? Because I've got a real Percy Pig fetish, and I'm not that's better.
Oh right, so Louise wins double Haribo in the next one. She said, when I said who is it, who do you buy from, and who gives the best experience? AE.
You've got something brown on the end of your nose.
No, you're not allowed to say anything mean about Louise. Louise is now, she's now best customer. Best customer. I'll find a best customer badge and give it to Louise.
Yeah.
There we go.
With a Haribo.
Cool. So apparently Lou's got a supplier. I hope we're still talking about Haribos.
We could be talking about anything. If she's talking about Percy Pigs, that would be great.
Cool. So, who are you buying from? So, we've experienced. So, Wiggle do a good customer service. Funny enough, we're all talking about digital businesses here. Weirdly, Amazon, Apple is a digital business. Wiggle, digital business. AE, digital business. So, let's move to physical environments because I do think it's harder. With respect to everybody, and I know I'm a bit flippant because, it's not easy what you do, and it's to create all of that. But COVID has given some real opportunities. So for the initial consultations, to do those online, you can add value to that whole thing. But it's like for you, for example, Stevie, when you're thinking about your clinic and your business, what's the experience that you're trying to provide for your client?
So, if I think I work in a kind of, obviously, dental surgery, so it's like aesthetic and cosmetic stuff all together there. So we're charging a very high ticket items. We have a lot of aesthetic dental stuff that comes out, and obviously all the aesthetics that go with that as well. I always think about how does it look to me as a patient. So every single day when I walk in, I try and get a feel for if I've got 10 minutes. I genuinely do this, is that I will go to the front door and walk from the front door to reception and say hi to reception and chat to them and then go upstairs. You can pick up a lot, even in things like, oh, well, this needs doing, this might need painting, whatever, for the actual experience and how you feel about it. But yeah, you want the sense of feeling it's luxury, it's calm, it's professional, you want trust. I remember doing quite a lot of work with Russ when we did my branding. And he gets you to pick out kind of lots of words about how you want people to feel and things like that. So I think just spending some time thinking about what is it you're actually trying to portray, because not everybody's the same. So I'm often quite high energy. A lot of people in my field are maybe kind of calmer. I want a lot of energy, but very relaxed as well, and that kind of stuff. Whereas some other people want something slightly different. And you need to think about how that is in terms of all of your senses as well. So even just walking through it as a patient, I think is really valuable because how would you want to be treated? And imagine that you're paying that money to be there. Maybe you want a coffee machine in the reception. Maybe you can pick the type of music that you want to be playing. How do you actually want to be greeted by reception? Do you want them to walk you up the stairs? So this is something we've had a conversation about in clinic is, should we be walking people up and down the stairs? Now, I've had the conversation with my nurse that actually I want everybody to be walked down the stairs because I want everybody to have a proper exit and a proper pathway out there so that we go down and say, we need to book this for Mr. So-and-so and it's going to be in this X amount of time. They can have some small talk with the nurse on the way down. And that's a really valuable part of it for them. And I've noticed they leave on a much happier note because they're not confused about where they're going. They kind of get all the plan and everything drawn up for them. They've got a plan in front of them, which breaks down the cost of everything, what they're having done on the way out, which they literally have to sign, and that's it. And it's been explained to them about 3 times by that point as well. Good. So little things like that, I think, are really important.
No, I agree. I think clarity is one of the things that I think that experience has to give. It's bare minimum. So you think, as you say, value is equal value, price for experience. Confused people don't buy. So if you're giving them clarity and say cutting down all the anxiety, I think this, it's a really good thing to do, to look at, because I think we do, I suppose, overestimate that experience. I mean, I've done it as well. One of the things that Coralie did when she first came in was go, right, I'm going to walk through your client journey, and we found some really, really big gaps. Things that I thought were obvious aren't obvious. How do you get onto Matrix? How do you do this? How do you do that? And when you're in it, it's difficult to see. So it's great that you can take that step out and walk through it as from your client's point of view. Because at the end of the day, that's the experience that they're paying for, really.
Yeah, and I think that kind of note about clarity is that because the more expert you become on something, the harder it is for you to go back to a level where you didn't understand it. Every single person that comes in your door as a new client doesn't understand what you do. Like, they understand it a little bit. They kind of have an emotion about why they're there. But it's up to you to explain to them what you do, how you do it, and how that benefits them. And doing simple things, my consultations, my examinations, that sort of thing, don't actually take that long. And what a lot of the support staff say to me is, a lot of the other practitioners here, the patients come out and they're very, very confused because they've used a lot of jargon, because they've just not thought about how this is to the client. So whereas I will explain everything in layman's terms to them, because there's no point me using that professional jargon because it means absolutely nothing. So kind of understanding that your client knows nothing and you know everything, and trying to bridge the gap is really, really important. And doing things like having a treatment plan that's very simply laid out, that has little notes on it if you need to, that are typed up so they can take it away and digest it. The number of times somebody's come back and gone, oh, I got this and it had this on it and I didn't quite understand. Can you just clarify it? And you go, oh, yeah, that's this that we talked about. Oh, right. Okay, I've got it. Because they've had time to digest it and think about it. So I think kind of understanding that knowledge, the big gap between you, is part of your client journey that needs to be established. And like I say, that's what clarity is about.
Yeah, I think it's in all businesses. That's common. So when we look at sales and marketing, coaching, whatever. I often use this word because I heard it in a seminar once, and this bloke was talking about incongruent marketing. Now, I didn't even know what he was talking about, so I can pretty much guarantee no one else in the room knew what he was talking about. I wasn't sure he knew what he was talking about, but essentially what he meant was just marketing that is understood. And I thought there's a real irony in stood there talking about incongruent marketing as being understood when you're not being understood by using incongruent marketing as a term.
That's like the cleverest thing you've ever said, man.
I think so, yeah. But yeah. I think I've been cleverer than that.
Yeah, maybe you have. Fine line between genius and crazy.
Not often, though. But yeah, but this is, as Coralie's posted, it's like, getting someone to test your journey for feedback. Have I told you my game show idea?
Oh, God. When you say, have I told you?
That face. This could be the best idea in the world. You've already... In fact, you know what? No, fuck you. Because of that face, I'm not going to tell you.
Because I want to hear it now, because now I've got FOMO and you know.
No.
I'm going to text you every day.
Oh, God. All right, I'll tell you. No, I don't want to tell you.
I'm going to text you right now.
Oh, God. All right, okay. So, look. So, you mentioned about... the communication and making things simple and easy to understand. So my idea was I was going to do a game show on AE where we get four medical aesthetic professionals, not just four aesthetic professionals, not necessarily medic, and we take the top 5 treatments as per Google, and we look at what the top 5 questions are. So what is the public asking? So if it's around microdermabrasion, for example, we take top 5 questions and we just ask people that question, and they can answer it live and listen. And I'd be really interested to see what comes out, because some people aren't great at communicating, and I think there'd be some quite interesting answers. It might be a little bit of a car crash, but that was my idea anyway.
I actually really like that idea. I'm sorry I laughed at it.
There you go.
That's like literally the only apology you'll ever get from me. So I would like you to record that. Because if you ever need an apology from me, that's going to be it. That's going to be playing back that recording.
So I haven't had an apology.
I said sorry.
When?
Just now I said, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have laughed at you.
Oh, right, yeah, sorry. Now I've got it, yeah. So I'm going to cut that, edit it into everything. Miller, if you're watching this back, just take that apology. Well, you cut it out, use it, standalone clip, put it in lots of stuff. Awesome.
That
So But yeah, but as an idea, not to embarrass, but just to educate. Because I think, when you're listening to how people explain things, I've always been of the opinion that some of my ideas, if I can't explain them to my kids, they're not going to work. And I've used Toby, my now 11-year-old, as a sounding board for some ideas. And he's gone, yeah, I kind of get that, and it's okay. Use Isaac as well. I think sometimes using your peers actually is the wrong thing to do, because they really understand it, and you need to kind of come down a couple of levels. So, you're out there in the AE world, right? Let's look at what you're communicating, how you're communicating things, and see if you can get your kids to understand what you do. Because if they can, your communication is clear.
Yeah, I think they always say if you can't explain something to a 5-year-old, you don't fully understand it yourself. I actually think that's really accurate.
I do too. Or because I have the attention span of a 5-year-old. So
your attention span is poor.
People are halfway through. It's not poor. It's perfect for me.
Yeah, well, it's not great for me. Stop! Hey,
Sorry,
hey! Back to the
Stop there. I was thinking about something else.
You joke, but that's how we have a conversation.
It is. That's a coaching course, right? So, just for those of you out there, when I'm doing my coaching, by the way, my attention span is much longer than that. I am far more professional than that. Just you're not going to be talking to me, and I'll be drifting off.
It's just me. I'm white noise.
Yeah, exactly. So, what were you saying?
Shut up. Are you like, do you want to come and do day 8 so you can come on and I can abuse you live on air? Yep. You didn't break it that time either. Well done.
I found the button. It's all over now. I found the Captain Insano button.
We're all in trouble.
Yeah. Have you seen the movie Waterboy?
No.
That's where that's from.
I need to see it. Yeah, I need to see it. It's one of those on my to watch list. Anyway, we're supposed to be talking about Client Journey. Shut up.
It's the only Adam Sandler movie that I can really stomach. It's actually quite funny.
Oh,
I really do like it. Well, this is part of the Client Journey. We are, it's all added value, isn't it? The new AE magazine.
I guess this is why people like AE, though, isn't it? When you think about AE's Client Journey, I think a big part of AE for the Client Journey is the atmosphere.
Right. Yeah.
Like, I know that sounds weird, but actually you welcome people into an atmosphere. The first thing that you do in Aesthetic Entrepreneur, so when I met you, we had a call, we went into the group, and I was suddenly in this group of people that I was like, oh, there's a world outside beige chinos. And I knew about this, but I didn't know there were other people out there. So I think that's a big thing as well. It's like, we always talk about kind of like community and stuff like that. But part of the client journey is like, what attitude are you trying to portray? What part of your personality is it that you want them to buy into, I think?
Yeah, I think it's authenticity, right? And I learned it the hard way because, well, trying to be something else wasn't working. So you just got, and as soon as I kind of relaxed and you start being yourself and I started swearing at people, things moved forward in a positive way, and I've never looked back. And now I know for a fact, an absolute fact, that authenticity is the only way to grow a business that you enjoy working in, because you attract people like you, etc., etc. It's, some people are spiritual, so have a business that has a spiritual element to it. Some are physical, have a physical aspect to it.
Yeah,
do that. I think if you ignore what your underlying drive is, you fail, because it's almost like subconsciously you want to you sabotage yourself, because what you're doing is just shit. And as soon as you drop in your passion, what you're really fired up about, it flies. Don't ask me how it works. It's like pixie dust. It's just magic.
Well, I said this before a long time ago. One of the things that I heard was somebody said if you speak from your head, people hear it from in their head, which is okay. But if you speak from your heart, people hear it in their heart. And like, that sounds a bit cheesy and cliche, but it's totally true. I mean, this year for me, I've done more in terms of my circle of influence than I've ever done before. And I had the conversation with you today that I was approached by somebody within the dental industry who had started listening to my podcast, and he's totally the target market for me as a coaching client. He started listening to my podcast because he's seen me on an interview with Dentistry magazine. And that's just literally me reaching out and talking about myself. And I'm not talking about dentistry in it. I'm talking about me as a person and what I'm doing in triathlon and all that. And that's what people are interested in. Likewise, in terms of my clients, my patients that come in, one of the things that I've always done with them is talk massively about their lifestyle factors and their health. And that's now the big bit of my business, and I still apply that to dentistry and aesthetics because it's so important. And I was trying to kind of fit into this box and this journey that everybody else had created, and I was like, wait, this doesn't work for me, and how would I want to be treated as a patient and a client, and what's important to me? Because when you look at those things, you're an expert in them because you're interested in them, and also you create a journey that's so much better because you've thought about all those little things, because you've gone, oh yeah, no, I would want that to be there, and it appeals to a real niche person, your avatar, who then goes through that journey and thinks exactly the same as you do about it. This is awesome. It's got all the things that I need in it to help me with the problems.
Yeah. And you end up having, conversations are more interesting. It's just more fun, right? And
yeah.
So think back to a time when you've got a client who's been utterly wrong. What did it feel like?
I literally, I'm not very tolerant of that, and I'm glad I have support staff to help me with that, because I'm like, right, well, this is going to be a short appointment, guys.
Yeah. yeah. I had, I suppose the last one that didn't go well was usually, that doesn't happen that often now because we generally filter them out before they even get to a call with me. But when someone said to me that, oh, you waffle a bit, I just want the facts, but also I want you to do it for me.
How did that go? What was the response to that? Because I'd be interested to know.
I was actually quite taken aback because it's not something I hear very often. Because it's just a complete. It's just like, sorry, what? So how have we arrived at this point? So it's kind of thinking, again, back to the client journey. Was there a failure in the client journey? Because what I'd want people to understand is, hey, I like telling stories, right? That's how I explain things. By anecdote, storytelling, and if you consider that to be waffly, fine. Go and buy a manual and read that. Because if that's how you take information in, I'm not offended. We just, guess what? It ain't going to work. I'm a visual thinker, and if you're not, that's not going to work. So one is, how did they get to me without realising that's how I worked? And the second thing is, how did they think they can afford to pay me to do it for them?
Yeah, I think that's one of I don't know whether you would agree with this, but I think a massive part of the journey, the client journey, has to be, how do you filter out the people you don't want, as well as attracting the people you do want is one thing, but how do you not attract the deadwood? I've had it recently. I had a client that signed up like literally before Christmas, and then like 2 weeks in, we were like, this is not the right fit. Yeah. And it kind of approached me with all the enthusiasm, and then literally all the action steps I'd said, you need to do this, this, and this, had not taken. So we just got to a point where we're like, this is not right for you.
You fired.
So, yeah.
Yeah, which you're entitled to do. And again, guys out there in AE land, you can fire your clients. You are allowed to do this. If they're wrong, and if they might talk a good game, but if they're, sometimes, I don't even end up firing them. They just stop paying me. And I go, yeah, all right, off you go. Literally, it's like, well, whatever, just disappear off. Mm-hmm. So it's, it can be quite a direct sort of thing, or off they go. Don't turn up for their appointments.
I had a really interesting one, actually. I had a really, totally, really out there, strange person come and see me. And we kept having the same conversation. And I was like, but there's no problem. I can't help you. We have the same conversation every time. And in the end, I said, look, you need to go and see somebody else. This is not working, because every time you come in, we have the same conversation and I can't do anything for you. And I kid you not, She begged. She stood at the door and pleaded for me to see her again. And I said, but we're not doing anything. We're just doing this differently. Anyway, she came back and saw another practitioner. And she's getting on fine. And I was like, it's really interesting that A, you begged and pleaded to see me, even though I told you we weren't going to do anything. But B, you've been to see somebody else who said exactly the same as I did, but obviously communicated to you in a way that is suited to you. And that's great because you guys will be fine and you'll work as a great relationship. But for me, not the right fit at all. I thought you were completely cuckoo. You might be normal. I might be the cuckoo one. That is likely. However, it's finding a right fit for you, isn't it?
It is. And you think, how many times have we done the avatar exercise?
I mean, I do it how often do I do it? Like once a month? Richard, I need to do this. What's your avatar's problems? Okay, I'm going to go back to my mind map again. I'll see you in a day.
It's the point. It's the client. It's the part of the client journey that everything comes from. So, funnily enough, in the course, the client journey course, quick little plug there, the first part of the client journey course, I help you to unpack your avatar. And if you haven't done it yet, you need to do that. Course is £100 plus VAT. It's the cheapest it's ever going to be. And I guarantee you are never going to get me to unpack your avatar for less than that. Never going to happen. So if you're interested, I would do that bit. Just do it just to get the avatar bit. If you're already in the AE program, by the way, you get the course for free. Anyway, sales messages. We'll be back after these messages. Hi, have you?
I'm Richard Crawford Small, author of The Client Journey.
You might remember me from such amazing courses as The Accelerator, Client Journey, AE Performance, and GSD.
Hang on. I'm just breathing in, and your office smells of rich mahogany. Do you have many leather-bound books in there as well?
I'm absolutely not going to finish off that scene.
What a great film.
Yeah. Stop there, Stevie. Stop. It's just wrong. Oh,
man, I love that film.
Right. Back to ask the questions. Lou, I think now I can put myself out there, feel more positive. I'm not like you guys, and that put me off ever starting imposter syndrome. But I guess now people can suck it up. Absolutely. You're not. You are you. Was it say? Was it that saying? Is it always be yourself unless you can be Batman? And then be Batman.
Yeah, my mum actually got me on a poster that said, always be yourself unless you can be a flying unicorn, then be that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'd rather be myself than a flying unicorn.
So it's individual. It's a flying unicorn. Yeah, I'd say that to a lot of people on a regular basis.
Yeah, I definitely don't shit rainbows. Just ask my kids. Anyway, so yeah. Imposter syndrome has a lot to answer for, a hell of a lot to answer for. It can ruin lives, ruin businesses, but at some point you just kind of have to get over it. There's lots of support to help get over imposter syndrome. I think you do need support to do it. It's not something that you can do yourself. And things that help you get over imposter syndrome are your clients. Once you start to believe what your clients are telling you, that i.e. you're good at what you do and you're making positive change and they love, you really like you, keep a brag file. This has really helped me, right? Is because after, most of the story goes, got a bit of a kick in when my business nearly went bust. I had to rebuild it. And in those early stages, your confidence is shot to bits. But I realized what I was doing was working and getting the positive messages. So the first thing is believe the positive messages, right? People are quick enough to tell you you're shit. So why wouldn't they tell you when you're good? Believe it and read them. And the more you read them, the more you start to kind of feel like, hang on, I do know my stuff. And then the final part of that is you just have to not really give a shit what people think about you. And it's hard. That's the hard bit. It took me a long time to do that. But now I can quite comfortably say I don't really give a toss what most people think about me, and the people who I do care about what they think about me think I'm fucking awesome. So there we go. Imposter syndrome.
Yeah, and I think
Ick.
I think imposter syndrome is one of those things where it never goes away. It's just that, like, you get more comfortable in where you are. So your comfort zone just grows a bit. That's all it is. That's all that happens. Your comfort zone grows a bit, and then you suddenly go, right, I've got to take another step outside because I've got to grow a bit more. And you get there and you're like, I don't know what I'm doing. Newsflash, nobody knows what they're doing. Just crack on with it. Everybody's got imposter syndrome in that sense. Yeah. Nobody knows what they're doing. Everyone's just pretending. Yeah. We're all pretending.
Yeah. Parents out there, hands up here, who doesn't want their kids to know that you're making this shit up as you go along. Literally, I get that all the time. Dad, you don't know what you're doing? Yes, of course I know what I'm doing. Okay.
My dad still does that to me. I'm 31 years old, and he's still, and I still fall for it. He knows what he's doing. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's got a clue.
We don't know what we're doing. So, if the world is kind of chaotic and inventing things as they go along, so then just jump in, do the same as everyone else is fine. Rick's here. How you doing, buddy? Witnessed a practitioner lose themselves several £1,000s this week by having a crappy consultation that they charged handsomely for. Well, there we go. It's exactly what we were saying earlier, right? So it's value, price, experience. I think people generally know when they're chucking shit out for a lot of money. They must do. People are more. I think
it's like you have to. Sometimes it's experimental. Like people are like, oh, how do you set prices? And I'm like, well, what do you feel? What do you feel it's worth? And then what do you feel comfortable? And then like push it up. And at the point where you feel a bit uncomfortable with it, you either need to add something to it or you need to take the price down. Like that's what you can charge. And sometimes I genuinely think that is how you do it. We've just increased some prices at the practice. And I just said, you know what? I need an entire surgery refit to be comfortable with this. Which is what I'm going to get. Because I said I don't want to lower the price. But in order to do this, this is the experience that my client has to have.
Add value. Add value. Add value. There's a really like a matrix. I might draw it at some point. Boston matrix, 2x2 grid. Anyone know what that is?
Oh like a genetics one. I know what you mean.
It's really easy. In fact, I should just say it's like a window, right? It's like that, a window.
Yeah.
And on one side you've got cost and value. So what you want to be doing when you're adding value, so there is value, there is cost, is you want to create something that has low cost to you, but has a high value to your client. And that is what you add in. So things like, refitting a surgery, for example, relatively high cost, but probably not as high as the value add. So people walking into a new environment, a plant pot strategically placed to cover up a pipe, a couple of quid adds value. So if you think about that in your head, you don't have to kind of spend bucket loads of money to create the environment. One thing I did realise for a client when I was way back was I got them to rehang the door because when I walked in, there's a high street clinic. And when I walked in, I had to open the door outwards, and it was really uncomfortable into a small little space. So I said, "Well, just rehang the door." Next time I came, they had listened to what I said, and the door opened in, and it completely transformed the way that you entered the business. And all of a sudden, the door opened up, you could see the reception area, and it was you stepping into the business, and you welcomed in, rather than trying to having a fight with this ridiculous sized door. The door was heavy as hell as well. So there's little things like that. And don't, think outside the box. It's like, right, how can I make this better? What can I do to improve it? Small things like that. That may well have had more value than, chucking an air conditioning unit in or something like that.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And it's stuff that's overlooked. I think one of the things that a lot of professionals miss out on, certainly in the dental world, is we often have meetings about price rises, and I'll go, yeah, that's fine. I'm happy to charge that. This is what I need from your, marketing, estates team, whatever, for me to provide that value. This is what I need to happen. And this is the appointment length I need. And this is what I need from the support team. So basically you can come to me with any price that you want me to charge for that particular treatment. That's absolutely fine. But there are other things that are attached to that. The Invisalign stuff that we started doing as well, like we're not the cheapest person in town, but I said, right, what we need to do is we need to provide a little welcome pack. So we have one for when they come in and have the consultation, when they come on an open day. Then when they come back in and they start the treatment, there's like a whole branded bag. It's got a little kit to keep all their teeth clean when they take all the things in and out. You know, you can do exactly the same with aesthetics. Yeah. Have you got the little kind of skin-friendly makeup? Have you got all the little SPS, the travel kit, all that sort of stuff when you've done a big treatment plan? What's going to complement it? And there's loads of stuff you can do with that. And it doesn't have to be, it can be a little compact mirror that you can get done on Vistaprint with a little logo on it. Fantastic little thing that you can put in a little makeup bag and they can take it away.
Absolutely. Mugs, stickers, t-shirts.
Yeah.
It's the staple added value for aesthetic entrepreneurs, t-shirt.
I love all my AE t-shirts. I always want more. Richard, stop trying to give me them because every time I turn up, I try and pitch all the t-shirts.
I know we've got a whole new range of colours of these t-shirts coming out now.
I want every single colour, but I'm still waiting for my hoodie.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, actually, remind me because I want to get one as well. So remind me, I'll have to get one. Which means Rick will want one and Coral will want one. So I'll have to get 4.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm not. I'm just going to email Auntie C because Auntie C will just do it.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, I've been cut out of the process. Like, where's all this shit coming from? I didn't sign this off. Don't even have to anymore.
you just get the bill.
Yeah. Pretty much. So have you received...
And then I just come here with Auntie C said I could, so it's fine.
Oh, yeah, hang on. Rick is still awaiting his pink one to model. So I will sort that one out. I did get this is a new black one, but I messed up when I did the order. You know, no one will notice, but the Aesthetic Entrepreneurs logo, it's a bit too high. Usually it's a bit lower.
Yeah, but I quite like it there.
Really? It feels a little bit kind of...
Yeah, because...
Superman.
No, because it's visible on the screen a bit more. Like, I'm really dinky, so the logo is never it's never there, but you can't see it.
All right, noted. Okay, fair enough. The logo is now moving up. I designed it with a new position for the logo. I think it's much better than it was.
You know what? It fits in classically with a digital business, actually, because you've noted that we're on camera from the chest up.
Yeah, exactly. And this amazing banner. It's all good. Physical banner as well. It's not like a green screen. No expense spared. Right. Awesome. Thank you for joining me today. It's been awesome. Good catch up. I think just before we go.
I love you and hate you in equal measure.
That's not going to go old. Captain Insano that's gonna run and run and run. And I guess are you going to be on the first of, I don't know what we'll call it, Mythbusters possibly, but the first AE game show?
Yeah, I'd love to be on that because you can it'll be one of the times where you might actually find that I've got no words because I might panic and be like, I don't know. So it's probably worth it.
AE digital game show. I've got to work out a little bit how we do it, but I think it could be quite good fun, or just a massive.
Yeah. I think it would be great.
I'll give that a go. I'll have a chat and see. I'm trying to work it all out. But listen, guys, and out you out there in AE world, thank you very much for joining us for Date at 8. I hope you all have a fantastic weekend, and look after yourself, guys. I'll catch up with you all again very, very soon. Bye.